We have all encountered a specific type of magnetic personality. They draw you in with an intense, quiet charisma, only to suddenly go cold and swipe back when you get too close. That sudden prickliness acts as a protective shell. It guards a high level of sensitivity, functioning as a defense mechanism that triggers the moment they feel exposed. In astrology, this is the hallmark of the Scorpio Moon. This placement suggests a psyche with hidden corners and a primal understanding of the world that rarely reaches the surface. Without understanding the engine behind this behavior, these interactions often lead to sharp, permanent conflicts that can end a relationship in a single afternoon. Navigating a relationship with a Scorpio Moon requires a change in strategy. You cannot fix their aloofness. You have to understand the specific psychological trade-offs they make between connection and safety. At their core, these individuals are researchers. When a topic catches their interest, their mind functions like a headlight beam, holding steady until they find an answer. They naturally look under rocks and behind the scenes to find what is actually happening. This self-direction often traces back to childhood. If emotional support was inconsistent, the child learned to rely entirely on their own resources. By turning inward, they built a mental sanctuary, making solitude a requirement rather than a choice. In adulthood, this manifests as a demand for absolute privacy. They often become possessive over a small number of core items, a favorite chair, a specific meal, or a workspace, and they do not want to share them. This creates their central struggle. They crave intense, soulful connection, but they will sever that connection immediately, snapping the bond the very moment it threatens the deeply guarded boundaries of their inner world. In the workplace, this paradox makes them independent geniuses who can be difficult to manage. Their concentration allows them to solve problems others miss, but they often struggle with the social friction of collaboration. They work best in a specific niche where they can operate autonomously. Forcing them to broaden their interests or participate in constant group brainstorming usually backfires. Colleagues have to learn that their sharp comments aren't personal. They often lack interpersonal polish, focusing on the data and the investigation rather than the feelings of the people around them. In romance, the rules change. They demand total loyalty. While they appreciate your independence, they expect your full, undivided attention whenever you are interacting with them. There is no room for jokes about infidelity. Their need for security is absolute. This also applies to the family. For example, a Scorpio Moon child should never be forced to perform or show off for guests when they need to retreat. To learn how they feel, avoid direct questioning. They respond better to tangential curiosity. Instead of asking for their emotions, share a story about someone in a similar situation and see what they contribute. Success with a Scorpio Moon depends on a narrow boundary. You must offer them total loyalty while respecting their intolerance for being crowded. There is a cost to forcing a Scorpio Moon to conform. When they are pressured to suppress their intensity or ignore their need for space, internal pressure begins to build. Eventually, that pressure reaches a breaking point. The result is a pyroclastic blast, an explosive temper that erupts specifically because their boundaries were repeatedly ignored. Their natural perception makes this explosion particularly sharp. They can take a casual observation and turn it into a pointed, critical comment that targets a person's exact insecurities. Demanding they abandon their need for isolation does not make them more social. It simply arms a psychological timer that will eventually destroy the relationship. The developmental goal for a Scorpio Moon is to reach a state of well-adjusted intensity. This happens when they communicate their need for space before pressure builds. Instead of pushing people away, they state boundaries clearly. Partners participate by proactively offering space, causing the bond to actually grow stronger as the pressure of intrusion is removed. Emotional intimacy remains complex for them. They often find it easier to connect through sexuality first, but they only truly transform when they combine that physical closeness with a conscious emotional bond. When they balance solitude with connection, their internal conflict resolves. They stop being a mystery to be solved and become a steady, reliable anchor for the people they love.